Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. Having recruited most of the players who sparkled when Rossi's High School dominated local high school football in the 1980s, an era in which they won the nation's only schoolboy Grand Slam, the Costa Cup, the Ben Francis Cup, the Oliver Shield, and the New German Shield, all in the 1985 season. It was almost a safe bet to say, with such high quality talent going to Reno, it would only be a matter of time before the Westmoreland team would win a national title. It was widely felt that once players such as Donald Jemmy Hewitt, Capel Contiel Donaldson, Mark Agler Wilson, Easton Fuma Smith, goalkeeper Aaron Lawrence, and the wily Michael Jim Dandy Graham got a feel of the NPL football, they would take their dominance from schoolboy football to that big league. At Reno, the Rossi's stalwarts joined forces with the likes of seasoned campaigner Clive Birdie Richards, Jeffrey Foster, Richard Ford, Hector Linton, and former St. Elizabeth Technical High School star standout midfielder Ted Roy Tickerus Jones. They created a formidable unit. It was therefore no surprise that, within a 5-year span, the Reno team won 3 NPL titles among other national titles. In their search for prominence in the National Premier League, they first won the title in 1989-90, beating Blackline of St. Catherine. In 1990-91, they became back-to-back champions, beating Casafa's hotshot Arnett Gardens. They were back at it in 1994-95, beating another Casafa top team in Constant Spring in the finals. Interestingly, had it not been for a bizarre second leg game against Volley Kickers in the 1995-96 final at Jarrett Park in Montego Bay, the Reno team could well have won back-to-back titles for a second time. In that game, with just 3 minutes to go, Reno led 2-1. However, after being cautioned for time wasting, goalkeeper Aaron Lawrence got into an heated exchange with referee Peter Prendergast and was shown the red card. Lawrence was replaced in goal by Oldfield player Ted Roy Jones. With just seconds to go in the game, Horatio Brown broke free on Jones and fired it home, making the score 2-2. Angry Reno supporters, who felt they were being given a raw deal by the referee, invaded the field and the game stopped for a while. After the game restarted, the referee again stopped it, saying he felt unsafe as there was inadequate security. That was the end of that contest. Subsequent to the ending of the game, a decision was taken that the JFF Disciplinary Committee would decide the outcome. Within days, a decision was taken to replay the game at the same venue. In their replayed game, the weakened Reno team, without their first choice goalkeeper Lawrence, fell prey to a Horatio Brown goal which gave Violet Kickers victory and blunting Reno's chance for back-to-back titles and a 4th hole on the NPL crown. In this edition of Lest You Forget, I will be looking back at that ill-fated 1995-96 second leg game at Jarrett Park, which saw the Reno team that lost to Wadada in the 1987-88 final, going down to another Western team in a final that they should have won. In the first leg game, which was played at the Frome Sports Ground in Westmoreland, the Boysie Nicholson coach Reno team were surprisingly held to a 1-1 draw by the Dr. Dean Weatherly coach Violet Kickers teams, setting the stage for a battle royal in the second game at Jarrett Park. I will revisit that game from the story I wrote for the Star, which was published on May 13, 1996, under the headline Missiles Rain in MoBay, Fans Invade Pitch, NPL Final Abandon. The story read as follows. Irate spectators hurled missiles and invaded the field, forcing a premature end to yesterday's Craveney NPL return second leg game between champions Reno FC and Violet Kickers at Jarrett Park in Montego Bay. The beginning of the end of what was an exciting contest started in the 87th minute, when referee Peter Prendergast ejected Reno's goalkeeper Aaron Lawrence for a descent, with Reno leading 2-1. Shortly after Lawrence's departure, substitute Horatio Brown fired past makeshift goalkeeper Ted Roy Jones to level the score 2-2. Displeased fans then showered the pitch with missiles, forcing Prendergast to temporarily stop the game. After a brief resumption, Prendergast blew off the match, citing lack of security. In a statement following the abandoned final, JFF President Captain Horace Burrell said, "The final status of the game will be decided by the JFF's disciplinary committee." Prior to Lawrence's antics, Reno looked well on course for victory, which would have given them an unprecedented fourth title. Reno's bid for victory started when forwards Michael Graham and Hector Linton netted in the 47th and 48th minutes to give Reno a 2-0 lead. However, volley kickers Garfield Watson answered 2 minutes later with a third right foot shot from the edge of the area, making the score 2-1. With Reno seemingly on course to victory, goalkeeper Lawrence tried to slow down the game and was warned by referee Prendergast, but instead of complying, he began clapping his hand as if jeering the referee. Prendergast suddenly turned, went into his back pocket and came up with a red card, ejecting Lawrence. Rattled by Lawrence's ejection and failing to provide enough coverage to makeshift goalkeeper Ted Roy Jones, Reno gave up what appeared to be a soft goal. Fearing the worst, the Reno supporters stormed the field and held up the game for a short period of time. After they left the field, the referee decided that the conditions were just not safe to continue and blew off the game, throwing the matter in the hands of the JFF to decide the final outcome. After the game, the Reno fans, especially the women, made no bones about the fact that they felt they were cheated, and persons like Mammy Puss, Toots, Legroot really got angry. I've never seen that amount of rage as they left Jarrett Park with blood in their eyes, saying that their referee had robbed them of what would have been a full title. In looking back at that contentious yet memorable game, it was definitely one of those unforgettable sporting stories out of Western Jamaica. Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter.